Welcome to Mastering Machines, where we discover tomorrow's reality.
Now let's get a word from Google's opening act for their keynote.
Out of here! Get me the hell out of this cup! Get me out! Yeah! Google!
I know a lot of people were giving crap to him, but I thought it was something outside of the norm. Was it a little bit hoolyish from Silicon Valley?
I got 7 words for you. I love GoogleBib's integrated multi-platform functionality. Yeah! Woo! But seriously.
Yeah, but it was something that was outside of the box. Google wasn't trying to take itself too seriously, and it's kind of weird because it kind of backfired on them. If you look at some of the tweets here from people in the AI community regarding the opener performance, you'll see this, and this, and this, and this. Google I/O is the main keynote for Google, and it releasing and talking about its upcoming updates, features, and software releases for the upcoming year for the Google ecosystem. I just want to talk about the most exciting things from the keynote from my perspective. The first thing I want to talk about is the text-to-music editor that was actually introduced via the DJ set of Mark Rebellier. The tool is called Music FX, and it allows you to basically use these kind of sliders to determine what kind of music you want and how you want to mix it. It's really interesting and a really kind of good UI to use, I think, especially for music artists and producers. Another huge announcement was a 2 million context token window. This will allow you more depths of tasks that you can do with Google Gemini through a mechanism known as context windows. These models can recall and integrate more data into the responses and lead to more accurate and user-friendly outcomes. The size of the context window is measured by the number of tokens, and those are units of information that it can process. It has a direct impact on the model's ability to deliver quality results. The larger the context window, the better the results. And it enables the model to consider a broad range of factors, resulting in more effective and personalized interactions with the users as well. Pretty cool demo that I saw as well was the fact that it can look in your email and create a return order for a product and even create an invite for your drop off with UPS, which I thought was pretty darn cool. This was part of the agent demo, but it really showed how powerful Google's moat of Gmail and Google Chrome are and how it can be implemented into the agent framework. Also, Google didn't make the same mistake as last time of having fake demos. Last year, Google got into hot water by showing a multimodal demo, which collectively was called the Blue Duck demo, but it wasn't a live demo. It was done through multiple prompts. But this time around, they actually had live demos, which I think was great in them learning from their mistakes. And they were able to have workstations and in-person kind of demos as well for the guests for the Google I/O keynote as well. One of the things I wasn't expecting was the video generative model called VIO, which was kind of shocked to me and made me wonder whether it would actually be a formidable competitor against Runway. And the graphics for this model looked incredible. It said it will allow you to also storyboard videos as well, which can be very valuable for creators. And also down the line, Donald Glover is apparently supposed to have some type of short movie in relation using the VO video model as well. A lot of people have been putting Perplexity, especially in the AI community, have been putting Perplexity ahead of Google. And it seems like Google is kind of taking a nod from them. Using Gemini to improve search results and contextual results from your location, even the weather that's currently happening, affects the output of your results. So if it's a nice day in like Dallas or Houston or something like that, they'll give you all of the current restaurants that have rooftops and are open. So you can see, especially how it looks, it definitely has that nod to Perplexity. One of the more important releases from the Google I/O keynote was Project Astra. And Project Astra is Google agent framework. It basically allows you to do things on behalf of these agents. So one of the examples they had was like a visual agent that can basically come along with you as well via smart glasses, which they didn't really touch on, but probably going to be somewhere down the pipeline. And it helped you solve a whiteboard problem, and it was able to identify things in the room and kind of give context to it, which I thought was pretty cool. Obviously, they'll be going in competition if they do release smart glasses down the line with Meta's Ray-Bans that are powered by Llama 3. One of the things that kind of went under the radar for a lot of the mainstream media was the Trillium chips, which will be used for large-scale data centers and will offer a viable option in comparison to the behemoth that is NVIDIA. NVIDIA represents 80% of the AI data center chip market. And who represents the other 20%? That's right, Google TPUs. Even if they can capture at least 10 to 20% of another 10 to 20% of that market, it will become an extremely valuable asset for Google. There was Gemini Live, which seemed like a direct competitor to the GPT-4o model, simply for the fact that it's a real live conversational AI that can even interrupt speaking. So it gives you that real sense of human-to-human speech contact. And I think that that's going to be something definitely for phones and people interacting and translating and all of that. And I think that will be interesting to see it in comparison with the 4o model from OpenAI. Then they also offered another kind of competitor to ChatGPT, and that was GEMS. GEMS seems like an obvious competition to OpenAI's GPTs. The thing that is useful about it, they can go off of your own Google Drive for referencing as well. So that might be more of the use case there, is that you can reference that and make tasks on your behalf from your Google Drive and more items in your Google ecosystem. Also, the fact that they can deploy this on Google Pixel phones and Android phones gives it a right-away use case, and also really emphasize their competitive advantage of being able to release on phones right away. Another underrated thing from the keynote was the fact that you can visualize spreadsheets. And I think that could be an amazing tool for small business owners, and probably killed a lot of AI wrapper companies in the process that interact with spreadsheets and other realms of productivity. Imagine you could put a spreadsheet data and then put that in, so like maybe your quarterly financials, and then tell it to create a plot graph based off of these results instantly within the Google ecosystem. I think that it's going to be a hit, and I think that people are kind of sleeping on this as far as it being one of the killer apps within the keynote. Also, they were able to really lean into the safety portion of the presentation as well, using red teaming, and also using people that are outside of the tech sphere as well, and also people who work in Google. And I think this is kind of different from the approach that was at OpenAI, especially with a lot of their alignment people leaving this past week and over the last couple of months. So I think that gives it some type of headway as far as making certain a lot of stakeholders that will be affected by this give some type of perspective in how the product is created. Then there was Vertex Studio with Demis Habbas, which includes products such as Gnome and AlphaFold, which will figuratively sprout in the next couple of years as biology and drug discovery become more software based. And I think that will have a lot of impact amongst the scientific community. Then there was the creative portion with Wyclef Jean and Childish Gambino, which showed the future of creativity and where it's headed in the age of AI. There was one inquisitive portion of the segment where Mark Rebellier, the DJ who introed the event, talked in a separate segment about using a portion of instruments to fill out his loops and ironically make them more human sounding. I think this will be the real value for creatives when it comes to AI, is that they can use those AI generated sounds and images to fill out their creative works. For example, B-roll for a movie scene or additional synths to an electronic melody that you've created. And that's it for all the things that excited me about the Google keynote. Remember, Master Machines, discover tomorrow's reality.